enjoy reading because it's kind of my escape from the real world. Like, I might have a bad day in class or a bad day at work, but I know that I can always pick up that book and kind of escape to my own little world. And not only that, it's just, all these different books are just full of so many different endless possibilities, and they're so beautifully written. It's just amazing, and everybody should read. I mean, it not only appeals to like your intellectual side, but your emotional needs as well. It's just, reading is amazing.
That's a tough question. I think I like stories in general. So I like TV and movies and all that other stuff. What I love about reading is the fact that you can go anywhere with a book. I mean, we're out at Huntsville State Park right now, and you could read the book out here. You could read an entire book just sitting on this log that I'm leaning against. And that's something that you can't do with a movie. I mean, even in today's time, yeah, you can take your iPad out and stuff, but it's not the same experience. Whereas reading, all you need is the book and yourself and your own mind. And it allows you to escape into a world that is not your own. And everyone has those moments in their lives when they want to escape from their own world, when it could just be boredom that they're trying to escape from, but books allow you to do that. And for me also, books fuel my creativity, which is very important to me.
I really enjoyed the fact that there was something for everyone in it. Personally, I would have never picked this book up off the shelf. As you can see, the cover does look like it's kind of geared towards guys, but whenever I started reading it, I was like, I could really connect with Sophie just based on, you know, like the family situation and just like the whole interaction between her and Otto. And I really enjoyed that there was something for everyone. Like, yes, Sophie is a 14-year-old girl, and some people are like, oh, guys can't connect with that. But at the same time, I mean, there's fighting, there's the, you know, the militia, there's the violence in it, and guys are kind of drawn towards that. But I mean, once again, there's something for everybody.
What I liked most about this was how it's a kid's, well, it's not a kid's story, but it's a young adult story, and it's really focusing on the relationship between a bonobo, which is a type of chimpanzee, and a girl named Sophie. But what I liked most about it was that it brought in the political turmoil that's going on in Africa. I'm a political science minor, so I enjoy the whole political intrigue of it. And Africa is one of those places that is just, it is constantly changing. You never quite know what you're going to find when you go there, when you read about it, when you see something on TV about it. And I think they captured that very well. This idea that a warlord might very well just come into a wildlife preserve simply because he doesn't like the people running it. And I think that really hit home. It struck a grain of truth throughout the entire series, that the conflict that is born in the book is a real conflict that is going on in today's world.
Eliot Schcrefer's Endangered is one of the finalists for the 2012 National Book Awards in Youth Literature, and it stands as a shining example of the genre. Make no mistake, this is not a book for children. It paints a picture of a girl named Sophie, who spends her summers at a wildlife preserve in the Congo. Amongst the animals who call the preserve home, Sophie finds a friend named Otto, a bonobo chimpanzee whose species teeters on the brink of extinction. Schrefer's easy-to-read book tells the vivid story of Otto and Sophie as they survive in the wild after a merciless band of rebel soldiers sucks the wildlife preserve into a brutal civil war. At its heart, Endangered remains a story of unconventional friendship amidst the beauty of the African landscape.
Discussed Otto for a while. Usually Mom named the bonobos after towns in Congo, but she liked his name, especially since it was easy for Lingala speakers to pronounce. Though she tried, she couldn't disguise how worried she was that he died. Maybe we could try flat soda, she finally proposed. Who doesn't like soda when they're sick? I transferred Otto to my mother and went to the kitchen to get some orange soda. When I returned to the office and saw her holding Otto, I had a crazy thought. It's a good thing my mom's here to help me take care of my baby. Of course I didn't say that, but poured the soda into the glass and put it in the sun to warm up a bit. Then dipped in a soft wooden spoon and held it to his lips. When he smelled the soda, Otto's eyes opened. For the first time, his face showed an expression other than pain or despair. Curiosity. Slowly he brought his lips forward and sipped. Then he took in the whole spoonful. Hands shaking, I poured another and held it to his lips. He drank it too quickly, and most of it dribbled down his chin. It beaded on the down of his face, the droplets glowing bright orange in the morning sun like jewels.
With the soldiers there, my best option remained the same. Stay with the bonobos while I waited for my parents to get through and rescue me. We were fairly secure in our position. The protective fence was humming away, and the bonobos stayed clear of the front half of the enclosure. They had a long memory for gunfire. I knew there wasn't any electricity running to the sanctuary because at night there was never any light from the buildings. Once the katakata had run through the gas for the generators, they were in the dark as much as I was. At least it didn't mean the fence with its solar panels was out. Thank God no rebellion could cut off the sun. I was sure my father was doing everything he could to get me out, once he realized I wasn't on the evacuation flight out of Kinshasa. But if the rebels had control of the airport, if they chased out the UN, then there was nothing he could do to help me except wait for liberation. He might have assumed I'd been killed long ago. He probably feared I was in the hands of the rebels as much as he feared I was dead, but I couldn't possibly get word to him. I had to remain in the enclosure until someone finally came and chased away the katakata. At least it didn't seem like food would be an issue. There was more to eat in the enclosure than I'd first thought. Every time one food source was depleted, the bonobos discovered another. They liked fruits the most, but once those dwindled, they began selecting certain leaves and munching on those, too. It took a lot more greenery than fruit to feel full, so foraging went from a few hours a day activity to a major occupation. Even the youngest bonobos began to help collect food.